King of Ronald, Specialist in Failure, recap vlog, myself BC, shout out everyone that went. First up we got 142 versus Problematic. This wasn't supposed to be on the card, but there was a few changes that happened, so kicked off with this. Obviously I didn't have a prediction for this. I thought Problematic was good. I liked his style, and I liked his kind of Cockney approach that he kind of dipped in and out of. I feel like 142 did end up getting a W. That was the decision. I did think that he took it in the end. He did have a choke. I thought he recovered well though, and he had his best round after that happened, so I'll give it to 142, but I definitely like Problematic, so I definitely like to see him again. Visceral versus JJC4. Just before I get into the battle, like, just want to say that these two guys, like, shout out you two, like, proper cool guys to just meet and talk to. I predicted Visceral before the proceedings, and I felt like he took it. I think he's got a clever style and he's got a nice delivery. JJC4, obviously you had some slip-ups. I know you was pissed off with that, but Visceral had a choke as well, and I know after the battle he was pissed as well, but I definitely still think he killed it despite that. But back to JJC4, like, had some slip-ups and probably wasn't as prepped as you thought you was going to be, or I don't know, it could number of reasons, like it you could put down to why it happened. Obviously you're the only person that knows, but I think that will just come with time anyway. Like, just keep pushing, and like, I think it'll sort itself out. So but you did have your moment where you revealed the top thing he was wearing, like the suit top, which got a really nice reaction. So, like, just take the positives from it, and like, definitely like to see you two guys again. But shout out to both of you guys, because he's really cool to meet and speak to. EMC versus Bard. I think this will be one of the best battles to transfer from being in the building live to on camera. I feel it got a bit heated, had a lot of energy, and I thought it was a really good matchup because it got heated, to be honest. And Bard pretty much did what I thought he was going to do. He used his size to try and bully EMC. For those of you that weren't there, he mentioned me in the battle, which I was expecting, to be honest. Like, I've been waiting for it for a while from certain people, so it wasn't a major shock to me. And as I said, I was expecting it because I've had previous with Bard, like, for those that know. Bard ended up getting a decision, but I can see this being, like, if not the most, one of the, I'd say, second most debatable battles of the day. But for me, I thought EMC took it just on bars, and I felt he was a bit more versatile with his rounds. But it was a sick battle. It was definitely, like, top two battles of the day. It was definitely one of them, so I can't wait to see it come out on camera. I think Bard's very good with his projection and his aggression. I feel though, like, especially live, like, people can get swayed by that instead of the bars. Like, if you're naturally loud and aggressive, like, I think that can take away from, like, your opponent's bars and even your own bars, like, because people get lost in the moment, sort of thing. So, but I'll be really interested to see like the comments on this battle, like when it gets put out, because it's probably going to be quite debatable. Deafening Toucan. I predicted Toucan for this. Unfortunately, Deafening didn't really have enough energy or drive for this, I thought. There was a bit of an issue with time limits. Toucan went longer than Def. I know Deafening wasn't too pleased with that, but like, I definitely think time limits should be like a basic thing covered. Like, you need to come to an agreement before the battle. Like, I don't think there's a place for it, to be honest. So that was a bit disappointing with that, but regardless of that, I felt like Toucan's experience and like his jokes, he just kind of, it got him through it. Just like on the humour side of things, and so I think Toucan got that. Shout out Deafening though. Big J versus Relapse. I predicted Big J for this, and I'm really glad that I was wrong. Relapse I've got so much respect for anyway, but he deserved it, he brung it, and I'm just so happy for him. Like as I said, he's already got a lot of respect from me anyway, but I felt like this is a massive win for him, and it's only going to help him in the future. So well done. And I felt Big J had some funny shit in there, in bits, but I felt like he was unmotivated and just there to sort of have a bit of fun. But I'm really happy for Relapse that he took it. Bowski O'Shea. I predicted O'Shea. He did get the W. I thought he was a typical, like, from what I've seen of him online, like, just a great character. Like, he's got an aura about him. Like, he's just a great guy. I didn't really speak to him one-on-one. Hopefully in the future I will. But he's just got, like, he doesn't even need to, like, have hard, like, bars. He's just that, like, his personality sort of wins him, like, at most battles. So he definitely brung some jokes and punches. I felt Bowski slipped up a bit, which was a shame, but it was a very funny battle, I thought. And it was nice to see that they've both got, like, a mutual respect for each other. I know battle rap isn't meant to be about that, and people frown on it when people are, like, talking and shit before the battles and embracing and shit, but I think it's good to see with certain battlers, especially coming from two vets in it. So it was nice to see, like, that they've both, like, it can get very boring if, like, every battle, imagine if every battle was just, like, people fighting and shit. Like, you wouldn't get future cards, like, the leagues wouldn't survive, because you can't, like, run a business like that. So Max Sherry versus Pedro. Now, where do I start? I can't wait to see the number that this battle is going to get as far as views are concerned. Max material was the best I've ever seen as well, which he needed to do anyway, like, because it was Pedro. Like, it's his toughest opponent to date by far, and, like, Pedro, just the work he's put in over the years just speaks for itself. So it was good to see Mac definitely upped it. I didn't see it going in the direction it went in. Pedro lit the fuse. He started getting physical with Mac, sort of squeezing his head. He took Mac's friend's hat and glasses off him, and I could hear Mac during Pedro's rounds and shit saying, like, stop touching me and, like, don't go there, and but Pedro just didn't give a shit. Mac responded by flipping Pedro's hat off, which obviously Pedro took offence to, and it just kicked off like the emotions just fucking went wild. He obviously Pedro just lost it once his hat got flipped, so he ended up ripping Mac's shirt. Mac lost it after that. So they both started getting into it, but like Mickey, Hulk, and O'Shea, and just like the crowd and shit, like got in and separated it, which I was glad that it happened, because at the end of the day, you don't want people fucking. Well, I don't personally, and I'm sure a lot of people don't, despite what they say. They don't want people who ended up in hospital and shit just for. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's battling, and then there's life as well. So, So yeah, I think like this is gonna be another highly debated battle. But I feel like I need to see it on camera, like to say who I thought won, because of all the commotion and shit. Like, I can't remember the bars because it just fucking went wild. And to add to all that, it was a fucking street battle in the end as well, which just is kind of ironic, because if it went on in the event, like, we would have been chucked out. So Uno Lavos Double L main event. I predicted Uno for this, but I did also say that I hope he brung it and didn't show up like out of his head, and I felt like he kind of he did bring it to a certain extent, but I don't think it was anywhere near the level that he's capable of. And before, on my prediction, I said that I didn't fuck with Double L, and I didn't like watch or look out for his battles really. But I'm gonna put my hands up and say I was wrong. Like, he's definitely got a new supporter from me after this. I thought he was jokes. He had a great performance, and I think he styled on Uno, to be honest. He pocket checked him twice. Second time Uno actually got a bit aggy about it, I thought. And he also kept touching Uno's chain and shit like numerous times during the battle. So I kind of felt like he buoyed him off a bit, and well, to be honest, I think he caught a body, like, just being truthful. I feel like if Uno brought it more, it would have definitely been a sick battle. Like, it was a good battle, but I feel like Uno was a bit of a letdown. Like, not trying to like talk bad about him or nothing, but I just felt like Double L proper bodied him. That's it, guys. Shout out to everyone that went. Shout out to Hulk. Shout out to Mickey. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'll see you soon.